Welcome back, lads. Today we're going to carry on working on the E46, and although we're here right now, the large majority of today's work is actually going to be at our unit where the engine is. But before we head over there, we do actually have a few little bits and pieces that we can do to the car whilst we're here. So let's get into it. Now, believe it or not, my E46 hasn't always looked like this. Matter of fact, when I first picked up this car, it was in pretty decent nick. However, just like most of you car enthusiasts watching this video, I very quickly got bored and began to make my first modifications. Well, that was until one day I think I may have watched a few too many throttle videos and thought to myself, I wonder if I can do that. And so on that day, I set myself the challenge of completely stripping my E46 into a million pieces, rebuilding it, restoring it, and at the same time upgrading literally every single part I could. But now that you're all caught up, let's get into today's work. So on this table here in front of us, we have a bunch of unorganised bits and pieces. But the first thing that we're going to do today is fabricate a little bracket for our vent hose. Now, assuming you don't know what a vent hose is, it's this long piece of hose here which mounts to our fuel cell. It basically is what it says it is. It's like it's a vent, right? So it's a breather hose which stops fumes from lingering in the cabin. Now that hose is actually going to pass through that little hole there which we've cut. There's actually a push lock bulkhead underneath that. So we've got to figure out how to mount this filter underneath the car. So let's get to it. Definitely not the best angle of me right now, but I think I figured out a plan. If I angle this towards this corner, then we can have the filter mounted up here, tucked away from all of the suspension and stuff. So what we need to do is make a bracket that goes there, holds this in place, and then run a bit of hose from this to this. That was like a pretty aesthetic shot, actually. So I found this old brown bracket that I thought I might as well make use of. What I'm going to do is drill out this center just so it's large enough to tap against this, but allow this to pass through. That way I can put my vent hose on here, use this as sort of a stop so that it's basically wedged in position, and then on this side, that's where the filter mounts to. So let's quickly drill this. Hopefully this goes to plan. Pretty perfect. Now, as much as I love being matchy-matchy with my brown bracket, I don't think that's going to look amazing underneath the car. So I'm going to give it a quick sand and then we're going to paint it black. So I'm going to give that about 15 minutes to dry, hit it with another coat, and then we'll go from there. So basically, my plan underneath the car, I did go out and buy a rivet gun, right? I meant to buy a riv nut gun. They basically put nut certs into the shell, and then you put bolts into them. However, I bought the wrong thing. Of course, it's just kind of typical, but it's not going to be coming off the chassis, so I'm just going to riv nut it to the chassis, and then that way, it'll be forever secured in place, and that way we at least know that it's not going to come loose. So I'm going to quickly go underneath, drill some holes, and we'll go from there, whilst that is still drying. Okay boys, our bracket is now nice and black as we wanted. I'm going to go underneath the car now, try and get this mounted in position. It's going to be a bit fiddly, so I'm not going to film it, and then I'll show you once it's held to the car. Okay, so as you can see here, we can just line this up, run a little hose to here. That is not going anywhere, and then we can mount the line and our filter, and then it'll be tucked right nice in the corner. Right, I can breathe again. I'm out from underneath the car, but I'm going to quickly mount this to this. Then we can measure up how much hose we need to chop off the vent hose, move that underneath the car, get it finally mounted, and then that is a job done. 3, 2, 1, and there we have it, all in one piece. Now I need to get a bit of hose off of here, take it underneath the car, and then we're good to go. Right boys, you join me once again under the car. It's all done. Let me show you. So here we have it, lads. Look at this, held in place, sturdy, not going anywhere. You're never gonna scrape this in anything because it's lower than all of our suspension and stuff. Damn, look how fresh that looks. All right, so now that that is done, our final thing that we're going to do here is mount these brackets. Now, there's a few of these that go on the rear trailing arms, right? I've already mounted half of them, but I didn't order enough last time, so I'm going to quickly go mount them up, attach the brake lines and the wheel speed sensors. That will be pretty much the whole underside tidied up. There's obviously a few little bits and pieces. Let me head under the car, fit these brackets. I'll catch up with you in a second. These are the clips I'm talking about, right? And I've just gone ahead and mounted them all in place. You can see our rear wheel speed sensor here. Same on the other side. That one also has a brake pad wear sensor. How sick does the underneath of this car look though? To be honest, the minute I start driving this is all just going to turn to rust anyway, so now all the dirty work here is done. Let's head over to the unit where we can carry on doing even dirtier work. I'll see you all in just a second. Safety first, boys, because today we are going to be working with some chemicals. Now, you see all of this mess, I've already been experimenting a little bit, but today we're getting serious. And that is because all of our old nuts and bolts that were previously on our motor are going to be getting cleaned. But not only are we cleaning the nuts and bolts today, all of this stuff has to be cleaned, all of that stuff has to be cleaned. So I've bought a big tub and a whole load of chemicals, and hopefully we can make this work. So over the previous couple of days, I've been experimenting and I've been having a semi-decent result. However, nothing that is perfect. Right? So, I did a little bit of research online and found that apparently white vinegar is really good for 1, removing rust off old hardware, and 2, removing all sorts of grime and dirt and stuff. Apparently it's used for cleaning. So, I bought some and a bunch of containers to put them in, so we we can keep all of our bolts separated, drop them in each pot, leave them apparently overnight, like 24 hours, something like that. And then we should have brand new looking hardware and brand new looking engine parts. I'm quite excited, so let's get going. Okay, so it has been 2 whole hours since I last checked in, but I haven't been doing nothing. I've got all of our bolts sorted into pots, labeled, ready for the white vinegar to go in. So first things first, I'm gonna pour some white vinegar into all of these pots, make sure all of the bolts are fully submerged. This stuff stinks, by the way, as you'd expect. Let's start getting them submerged.
2 hours later.
I've got some on my hands and it stinks. But regardless, they are now all filled with vinegar, soaking. We're gonna leave them overnight for 24 hours and then we'll come back tomorrow. So moving on to our tub, I've got some spray brake cleaner, right? So I might just spray that on and see what it does. There's no harm in that. Soak that. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Okay, so yeah, that did absolutely nothing. So I went ahead and ordered some pretty extreme cleaning stuff that I got recommended. And well, it's safe to say this worked a treat. Boys and girls, it's been roughly a week since I've spoken to the camera. However, as you would have just seen, I've been putting in a whole load of work, hours on end, just trying to clean things. Now my full-time job is cleaning. So spending another 4 hours every night, every day of the week, still cleaning is hell. But let me show you what I've been cooking. So let me bring you over to our dreaded workbench and let me give you a quick rundown of what I've been doing. So all of our hardware has been chemically cleaned. I don't know if I've cleaned it a bit too much because the second I leave it out, it just starts to rust now. So in the meantime, I've given them all a coat of WD-40 and I'm gonna send these off to be zinc coated at some point this week. If they're rusting this quick just from sitting out in the open, they could probably do with some protection. But moving away from nuts and bolts, because they have been the bane of my life over this last week, I've started cleaning up some of our external engine parts. Now this is our old timing chain cover. I've removed the front main seal, relatively easy, I just kind of bashed it through. But beforehand, these were literally black, right, as I had oil leaks all over here. Although this is clean, I'm not 100% happy with the results. So I am going to be painting this along with a bunch of other stuff for our engine, which you will see in this video, so stick around. But up here we have our engine mount bracket things. Everything's just really old and grim, but yeah, these have been scrubbed. We have all of our old pulley tensioners. These have been scrubbed and cleaned. Pretty sure that's our aircon one, but we're not going to be running aircon in the car. I do live in the UK, so not having aircon isn't the biggest issue for me. But moving on, our oil filter housing has also been scrubbed to perfection. This thing was honestly the worst. I had to drown this in chemicals and then scrub the daylights out of it for hours, literally hours. So that has now all been perfectly cleaned. I couldn't believe it when it came out and it was looking like that. I was like, banging. We now move on to internal engine parts. Now these were also equally as disgusting. Now from what I've seen of these parts, comparing them with other parts online, I'm going to assume that this engine hasn't been serviced all that regularly. And if I judge by the service history on this car, that is very apparent. Because I think there's a total of 7 services in the last 23 years now, but 2 years obviously it hasn't been on the road because of me, but let's say 21 years, it's had 7 services or around there. It might have been less. So as expected, there was a large amount of sludgy oil buildup. Now that was coating absolutely everything. Shout out to Sam Connaught for hooking me up with the cleaning supplies that I'd need. They worked an absolute treat, I'll be real. There's literally no residue left on any of this. There's a little bit in all the sort of corners. I don't know. You might just be able to see if it focuses. It's a bit better. There, like just a tiny bit in the corners, but that is honestly fine. It's just oil anyway. Super happy with how they came out. I honestly thought that they were just naturally brown colored. I didn't realize they were silver. Same goes for all of our old cam caps. These have come up spotless, man. I thought once again that these were orange, as well as our main caps. These are a little bit orange, like the top. It's almost like a darker, it's like it's been coated with something, I don't know. But yep, all of these have been once again scrubbed to perfection. Now, the only stuff that I have left to clean is camshafts and the stuff that attaches to the camshafts. I don't know what the technical name for that is. I have ordered Schrick camshafts, right? I ordered them back in November. However, they're coming at the end of April, which I know is ridiculous. I'm basically gonna have to put this engine back together just without the cams in it. And then when the Schrick cams get here, we're gonna have to put them in the motor. So there's no point in me cleaning up these cams, as I was considering reusing them and just forgetting about the Schrick ones, but I don't know if you can see that. There is some pretty major scoring on there. It goes pretty deep. I can definitely catch it with my fingernails. So I'd rather get the upgraded ones. They're new and they're gonna help with airflow for when we have a turbo. Now, the only other thing that I haven't cleaned is our old Vanos unit. Now, don't worry, this will be getting deep cleaned. However, I'm going to be stripping apart this and cleaning it and basically rebuilding it all at once. So anybody that wants to refresh their Vanos can also do the same thing. I don't want to have it fully stripped apart and then just put it together. But as far as cleaning goes, I think that is everything. So moving forward now, the last thing that we need to do before we can start reassembling everything is paint anything that we want to paint before we put it together. Now, obviously that's going to include our block, our head, our oil pan, our timing cover, engine mounts, and so on and so forth. I don't know if I'll repaint this. I'll see how it looks up against the painted stuff. So what we've got to do is give the block and the head a quick chemical clean. Not going to go too deep as I don't want to get everything soaking wet, like with water and that. I think I'm just going to do like, use a bit of brake cleaner just to get the main stuff off, as it's already been through a parts wash anyway. Then we've got to Scotch Brite everything, get it all scuffed up, and then we can lay some paint. So in the meantime, I'm going to stop talking and get to work. And once this is all done, I can officially say that we can start putting our engine back together. Well, once the hardware gets zinc coated as well, because we can't bolt everything together if we don't have any bolts. But I'm just gonna give it a final clean before I start scratching it all up, just to ensure there's no major residue left behind. So let me get started. Oh, this is cold. Never again. Honestly, it's 8:30 p.m. and I've just finished sanding the block. We probably started that at like 6.
It's just all these little crevices, man. Look at my leftovers. All these little tiny bits that's getting there. Obviously, it's not,
I haven't wiped it down with any cleaning stuff yet, as I'm done for tonight.
I'm going to come back tomorrow, give this a final clean down with some isopropyl alcohol, and then
we can actually paint this thing. Now this, the head,
looks a lot easier to do. I cannot wait to do that.
that should be like a 10-minute job. But hey, it's done. So I'll catch you all tomorrow when I'm back. Boys and girls, the block is finally ready for some paint. It's been probably a total of about 10 hours of prep work to get this done, but I am so ready to just start spray painting this thing. So as you can see here, all the masking is now done. Block is looking nice and clean. On this front side of the engine here, I mounted the timing chain cover because I knew that a lot of it was also on show, and then I just cut around it with a blade. Now where all the mounting surfaces are for like bolt holes and stuff, we're just gonna paint them because I did try and mask them, as you'll see here, but it just took too long. So I thought I'd plug all the holes, and then once the block is painted, I can just sand down the paint off of the mounting surfaces, and then that'll be sweet. Now before I go ahead and paint it, let me actually show you what I'm gonna use. So obviously, as the engine is the main heat source for your entire vehicle, we're gonna need some heat resistant paint, which is exactly why I've bought this stuff. So this is a VHT, which stands for very high temperature. So this here will be our primer, as it says right there. And then we've got some engine enamel. Now this is obviously the main coat. Now I have just gone with satin black for this, as I want the block to be black, I want the head to be aluminium, and I also want the oil pan to be aluminium. Sorry about all of this mess. All of this mess has literally been from prepping that block. But hopefully this will be worth it. I mean, most of the engine gets completely covered anyway, so I don't really know what a bang for buck in terms of time is gonna be, but without further ado, let's get painting, as it is getting late, as you can see from outside the window. So I've got to shake this for a minute and then we can get to spraying. Let's see how this dries up and I'll be back in a second. Now this is dry, we're gonna hit it with one more coat of primer. See how that looks. If it needs another light coat, we might give it one, but this should be good, I think. So let's hit it with this. I'm inhaling so many fumes right now. My mouth is like thick with paint. The area looks pretty well covered to me. Let's leave this to dry for 10 minutes, assess the situation. Then if it's good to go, we'll leave it for 30 minutes, then apply our main coat. So yeah, boys and girls, the second coat of primer has now dried. It has been over half an hour. It's time to lay our main coat of paint, which is in fact black. Nice and simple. I don't want to go too extreme with colours, as I feel like that would look a little bit tacky. So without further ado, let's get this shaken up and sprayed onto the block. All right, so I'm an idiot. I just sprayed the engine with our colour. I didn't even press record. So I've given it its first coat. I'm gonna have to come back with a second and probably a third, maybe a fourth, depending. But yeah, I think this should look pretty good once it's all built and put together. So yeah, apologies lads. I'll catch up with you when I'm about to hit the second coat. Actually recording this time, but I'm about to hit it with a second coat of paint. Let's do it. Oh, I could just taste paint at the moment. There's no ventilation. It's actually smoky in there. It's kind of crazy. I might need to step outside. I'll be back for the third and final coat of paint. 1 minute. Tell them how good it looks, babe. You look like a gang member right now. Alright lads, welcome back. It is now the following day and our paint should have fully cured by now and it is looking beautiful. But the last thing we have to do is take off all of this masking tape and then the block is fully done. And then we can move on to prepping our head. So let's see if my masking was good enough. That looks fucking spectacular, Paul. Pull these out. Right, let's flip this over and take off the other side. It'll just be one big yank, really. I think the black looks pretty sick, I won't lie. Ready to be assembled, almost. Just got to do a final clean and then it'll be ready. When I pulled it out of the car, this thing was covered in oil, so it was basically black anyway. And then you come back to me. So moving on to our head, this seems to be a much less complicated shape, or a much simpler shape than the block. So I think without further ado, let's just get cracking and get this done as soon as possible so we can actually start building the motor, which I'm super excited for. It's just all this prep work, it's just a nightmare, man. Like doing this on your own for the first time is it's a bit much, you know? Right, another 4 hours of prep work later. I'm sure you didn't want to see that, hence why I did not do any recording. Our head is ready for some paint. So let's paint it. This, I've gone with an aluminium colour. And also, whilst this has been drying, I've prepped the oil pan ready for paint as well. So the plan is I'm going to paint this and then paint that. Finito. 3, 2, 1. And just like that, the oil pan is now fully painted in the aluminium as well, which is going to contrast nicely against the black. This is actually the following day now, because it was like 10 o'clock at night last night when I signed off. So obviously the block, the oil pan, and the head is now painted. I've had a general tidy up of just all of the mess, like all the cloths, the Scotch-Brite, everything that was kind of just laying around. It's now under there in that nice pile of mess. I don't know what I'm going to do with that when I move out of here, but we should be ready for assembly. Obviously, I'm going to have to give everything like another little clean, but we'll do that as we're sort of doing it. One more thing. The nuts and bolts. Tomorrow morning, I'm dropping these off to be zinc coated. Now, for some reason, after spending about a week cleaning them all, they've immediately rusted. But in the meantime, whilst they're away, I can start assembling our pistons and rods, etc., because I have all the hardware for that. It's been 2 straight weeks now of spending every single evening here at this dingy, cold yard. Just trying to push through all the prep work. Honestly, it's like with anything, the prep work is definitely the longest. Yeah, it's been a nightmare, but hopefully it was worth the grind. I'm just so excited to start putting this all back together and to actually start building this. Basically, my plan with actually building the engine, I'm gonna do it all, not post anything, and then I'm gonna drop one full-length engine build video, so that way, you know, I'm not dragging it out, and you guys get to see a start to finish of turning this into something special. So I think my job for tomorrow is going to be to organise all of this, clean up the space, probably put down a new sheet so that we're all nice, fresh, clean, ready to go. Yeah, I can't lie, I'm super excited to start this. I've just been itching to do it for ages. Look at all the parts, like the best thing in the world if you're a car guy, you know this. New parts is just like heaven, but when you can't do anything with them, they're just kind of sat there in a messy pile on the floor. Yeah, it breaks my heart. Now, there will still be a couple of bits of painting that we do have to do, but that's going to incorporate modifications that we need to do prior, or like trimming, etc. of certain bits and pieces. So we're going to do that painting prep sort of work in the engine build video. So I'll do that when I get to it. But yeah, the main 3 bits are painted. Everything internally is free of old oil and dirt and grime. By the looks of things, we're ready to go. I'm waffling again. The next time I see you, this engine will be put together. So that means if you're not subscribed already, you better be subscribing right now, as you definitely don't want to miss that. It's going to be nuts. But anyways, enough rambling from me today. I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.